Welcome to Pi's Meditation. This is your space to pause, to breathe, and to find calm in this guide. Can money buy happiness? It's a question that has echoed throughout history, from the grand palaces of kings to the quiet monasteries atop misty mountains. In a world driven by material wealth and consumer desires, we often believe that money is the key to joy. But what if the truth is very different? Today, we look through the eyes of one of the most profound spiritual teachers ever, Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, to find an answer that has stood the test of time. Siddhartha Gautama was born around 2,500 years ago into a royal family in what is now Nepal. His father was a king who spared no expense in providing his son a life of comfort and luxury. From the finest clothes and jewelry to palatial mansions and lavish feasts, Siddhartha had everything money could buy. But the king also wanted to protect his son from the harsh realities of life sickness, aging, poverty, and death. Siddhartha's world was one of ease, shielded from suffering by golden gates and endless servants. Yet, beneath the surface of this privileged life, Siddhartha felt a deep unrest. Something was missing. One day, driven by curiosity and a longing for truth, he left the palace to explore the world outside its walls. There, Siddhartha encountered what would forever change his life: the Forsytes, a sick man writhing in pain, an old man bent with age, a dead body being carried to its final resting place, and finally, a peaceful ascetic who had renounced worldly life in search of spiritual freedom. These sights revealed to Siddhartha the undeniable truth that no amount of wealth could protect anyone from suffering and mortality. Wealth, he realized, was temporary and powerless in the face of life's inevitable challenges. At the age of 29, Siddhartha left behind his royal life, his wealth, and even his family to seek a deeper understanding, true happiness that no money could buy. After years of intense meditation, study, and self-discipline, Siddhartha attained enlightenment and became the Buddha, the awakened one. One of the Buddha's central teachings is that suffering arises from tanha, Pali word, often translated as craving or desire. It's the endless want for more wealth, more status, more pleasure, more possessions. Money, while useful for meeting our basic needs, can become a source of attachment, a trap that fuels dissatisfaction. The Buddha taught that this attachment creates a cycle of desire and disappointment because the things we chase are impermanent and cannot fulfill the deeper hunger of the mind. Attachment leads to craving, and craving leads to suffering. The Buddha said, he warned against confusing comfort with true happiness. Money can ease discomfort, but it cannot erase the fundamental human experience of change, loss, and impermanence. Instead, the Buddha encouraged turning inward, cultivating qualities like mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom. He offered the Noble Eightfold Path as a guide to release attachment and find lasting peace. To understand Buddha's wisdom more deeply, let's explore some timeless stories that illustrate the truth about money and happiness. One day, a wealthy merchant approached the Buddha, proud of his riches and convinced that money was the source of true happiness. He showed off his jewels, his lands, and his fine garments, declaring, "All this brings me joy and peace." The Buddha smiled gently and asked, "If someone were to take all your wealth away, would your happiness vanish with it?" The merchant hesitated, unsure how to answer. The Buddha explained, "If your happiness depends on things you can lose, then your happiness is fragile, not true happiness." This simple question reveals a profound truth. Happiness based on external things is always vulnerable to loss and change. Another story tells of a man who discovered a priceless jewel buried deep in the earth. He guarded it fiercely, hiding it away, believing this jewel was the source of his happiness. But one day, the jewel was stolen. The man was devastated, not only by the loss of wealth, but by the shattering of his sense of security and joy. The Buddha used this story to teach that happiness tied to possessions is like that jewel, temporary, fragile, and prone to bring suffering when lost. In a fascinating harmony, modern psychology and neuroscience confirm what the Buddha taught over 2 millennia ago. Research shows that money can improve happiness, but only up to a certain point. When people have enough income to meet their basic needs, food, shelter, healthcare, their happiness significantly improves. But beyond this threshold, additional income has diminishing returns on well-being. This is known as the diminishing returns effect. Why? Because true happiness depends on factors beyond material wealth. It's tied to relationships, meaningful work, community, and how we perceive life. Studies also highlight that practices like gratitude, mindfulness, and altruism, qualities central to Buddhist teachings, boost happiness more reliably than the accumulation of wealth. So, while money can ease stress and provide comfort, it is not the ultimate source of joy. The Buddha didn't just point out the problem of desire and attachment. He also offered a practical and profound solution: the Noble Eightfold Path. This path is a guide for living with wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline, leading us away from suffering toward lasting peace and happiness. Let's explore these 8 elements briefly. Right view: understanding the nature of reality, recognizing impermanence, and seeing that craving causes suffering. Right intention: cultivating goodwill, compassion, and renouncing harmful desires. Right speech: speaking truthfully, kindly, and avoiding gossip or harsh words. Right action: behaving ethically, not stealing, harming, or engaging in wrongdoing. Right livelihood: earning a living in ways that do not cause harm or injustice. Right effort: cultivating positive states of mind and preventing negative ones. Right mindfulness: being fully present and aware of thoughts, feelings, and surroundings without judgment. Right concentration: developing deep meditation to focus the mind and realize inner peace. This path is not about rejecting the world or money, but transforming our relationship with them, moving from attachment to freedom. By following the Noble Eightfold Path, we learn to appreciate what we have, to act with kindness, and to find contentment in the present moment, the essence of true happiness. In our modern world, with endless advertisements, social media feeds, and pressures to consume, Buddha's teachings feel more relevant than ever. We are constantly tempted to believe that the next purchase, promotion, or achievement will finally bring us happiness. But this is often an illusion that keeps us chasing a moving target. Mindfulness offers a powerful tool to break this cycle. By pausing and observing our thoughts and desires without immediately reacting, we create space to choose differently. Practices like meditation, gratitude journaling, and acts of compassion help shift our focus from more to enough. Imagine waking up each day appreciating what you have rather than craving what you don't. Imagine choosing generosity over greed, kindness over competition. This is the practical application of Buddha's wisdom, living with awareness and intention in every moment. So, can money buy happiness? The Buddha's timeless answer is both simple and profound. Money can offer comfort, but true and lasting happiness comes from within. It arises when we awaken to the impermanence of all things, when we let go of craving and attachment, and when we cultivate kindness, mindfulness, and compassion. Happiness never decreases by being shared, the Buddha said. When we open our hearts to others, when we live with awareness and gratitude, happiness grows, not because of what we own, but because of who we are. Thank you for joining us on this journey into ancient wisdom for modern living. If this message touched you, please like, share, and subscribe to support more reflections like this. May you be happy.